So Jennifer Lawrence is speaking out about the political divide between her and her family. I know a lot of people watching can relate to this. Speaking to Vogue, Jennifer said the rift started during the 2016 presidential election and only got bigger after abortion rights were overturned this past summer. She said she's worked hard to forgive and try to understand her right-leaning dad and family who live in Kentucky, and said it's hard because the information they're getting is completely different. Okay, so I know that a lot of people watching can relate. How do they deal with political differences within family? How do you deal with that? Tori.
Why? Go.
This is your jam.
Well, I think it's really difficult, and I think people have lost in touch, and I think they've lost family members. I certainly have. But what's interesting to me is she followed that up with, I'm trying at least with my family to see two different sides of views, and I am too. I have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I got to listen more, unless it's not based in reality, in which there's a difference. However, she also went on to say, I can't bleep with anyone who's not political or invested in any way. And I really understand that, because to me, politics is like human rights. So if you're not invested in that, like, I don't get it. And I don't know how to work with you and talk with you. But I think that she speaks for everybody, don't you think? Somewhere, someone's got to have an uncle that vastly disagrees with them. How do you have a moral conversation?
What if it's your father? What would you do, Erica?
Honestly, I don't even know, and I'm very grateful I don't, because that's got to be
so
really hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because we are the first generation where we're really breaking that mold of we don't talk about money, politics, or religion, and we're seeing the fallout of that. But I think that it's fallout that was inevitable, and I think that the fallout is good, because how do you really connect with anyone if you're not really speaking your values?
Right.
You know,
right.
I think a lot of people realize that they were in households with people who they were not aligned with on a fundamental level, and that's created issues like this. So I don't know. This is going to be like a case study in real time of how this all works out.
Jeff?
I don't know. Why are we forced to show your colors or show what side you're on? Because if you have two sides, because I like things on the right, I like things on the left, but people don't want to hear that. They want to hear you're with me or you're not. That's all they want to hear. People don't want to talk. I want to talk about sports. But you don't want to talk about that. But when you bring up politics, I have to give you an answer. I don't know why we're like that in society. And what if she had chosen the side of her father? I don't know if she'd be working in Hollywood right now. I don't know if she'd have her movie right now. So if you're in Hollywood, and this is Hollywood specific, it might be other places too, you can't share if you're on the right side of things. If she shares she's on the right side of things, she is no longer getting those movie roles, because the directors of that, the people at the top, are so on the left that they're like, I don't want to deal with you. And it's gotten so divided that we can't even have a conversation. It's just, you're out because you're not with me. And that's where we're at. And that's why I don't like talking about politics at all, because I'm going to upset you in some way, even if I'm trying to make a point that has to deal with my children growing up.
I like that she brought up what her parents watch, because in my family, we are definitely on all different sides of the political spectrum. I'm very progressive. Some of my family members are not, and that has caused differences in opinion. But when we sit down and unpack it, because at the end of the day, for me, it would be really hard to get along with someone or respect their values if it leads to their oppression. What's that famous quote that you always say? Both of you say it.
You can disagree with me as long as it doesn't, it's not rooted in your own oppression.
Exactly.
James Baldwin.
James Baldwin. But when I sit down and have conversations with people and they understand it, and on the flip side, when they have conversations with me and I understand it, we end up agreeing. So I really do think, depending on what you watch, whether it's Fox News or CNN or whatever it may be, it really is shaping and aiding to this divisiveness in our country. Now, I'm not going to say all people. Some people really are prejudiced. Some people really are racist, and they are that. But I would say the majority of people on both sides of the aisle, if they were to sit down and talk about it without politics influencing their opinion, I bet we would agree on a lot of things.
I think it also has a lot to do with the idea that some of these issues aren't seen as political because they're just talking about human rights issues,
That's what
right? So she, in this article, or the article before, it talked about having an abortion.
And a miscarriage.
Right.
And she had to have an abortion because of her miscarriage.
Right.
It was the treatment for it.
Exactly, because that is the treatment for miscarriages.
And now that's illegal in certain places.
Yeah, but that then, if you are, and I think a lot of people are having this issue, because you might have someone like your father who's saying, well, I'm glad that Roe versus Wade was overturned at the family dinner table with their daughter sitting right there who had an abortion. You know, so
But
it's
I
like,
wonder if she then had a conversation with him, because again, he might just be spewing and regurgitating talking points. But then if she looked at him and said, listen, I had to have an abortion because of X, Y, and Z, I would hope that that father would be like, whoa, I never even thought of it that way.
I mean,
I would hope.
You would hope, but she also has a power dynamic that most young girls or women are not going to have in that situation.
Yeah.
Because big bank always takes little bank.
Yeah.
But if you had this situation, last final thought, I know we got to move, and you reversed it, right? Her dad was blue and she was red, and she said she didn't get an abortion or whatever, just the complete opposite. Nobody would print that article. And if they did, she'd be out of a job.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a big double standard. You're right.
Because,
You're right.
and I like the Bears, and the Packers are their rival. I don't say never talk to me again because you're a Packers fan and get out of my life. But you know what I mean? It's like, why can't we just use sports as an example?
Because the stakes are so much higher for me politically, because it's about bodies and people's rights.
Football's life. Go back. Yeah, see, there you go. Thanks for the tension breaker, too.
Fan.
All right.
That was Chris, our executive producer. Okay, so Courteney Cox is coming for Kanye West. Over the weekend, one of Kanye's old tweets resurfaced where he said he didn't think the TV show Friends was funny. Kanye clarified that he didn't write the tweet, but wished he had. Courteney took issue with that and posted a response on Instagram. Watch.
How could you be so heartless? Oh, how could you be so heartless?
In the caption, she wrote, I bet the old Kanye thought Friends was funny.
I think it's a clever response because a lot of people think Kanye's music in the beginning was the best, right? And it was way better than it is now. So I think her response is clever. And I always say, if you're clever in your response, no matter what you're saying, I'm okay with it.
He's right. If you do something stupid and you do a good sketch on SNL, you can turn that thing right around if you have a good response. And Courteney Cox is a good follow on Instagram. Very funny. Good videos. That was a good little response.
Yeah.
What if Kanye didn't think Friends was funny? Maybe he didn't relate to it.
Yeah, but that's why she made light of it, right? She made like a funny joke out of a silly situation.
Erica has a look in her face. What's going on?
No, I don't think it's about whether Friends was funny or not. I think it was about the exchange between the two. And a lot of times people get real in their feelings about anything that's said derogatory about them or anything they've ever done. And I think she answered it correctly. You know, like she made light of it.
Yeah.
I don't see what the big deal is. Sorry, y'all.
Laughing about those residual checks coming in, yeah.
Exactly. So Tom Cruise, you guys, is at it again. A video of him standing on an airplane, is this real, is going viral. The stunt was for his new movie, Mission Impossible 7. Take a look.
As you can see, we are filming the latest installment of Mission Impossible. And right now we're over gorgeous Florida Canyon in stunning South Africa. And action! Let's see it's a movie.
Oh my gosh. It's not the first time Tom was attached to a plane that took off. He did it for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation back in 2014. This is bananas.
That's a movie star. And he is putting people back into those seats at the theater. He did it this summer. He crushed it. And that trailer is the best I've seen in a long time. It's not even a trailer. It's just a promotion.
Every time we played it, I can't believe today is so weird. I agree with Jeff. Everyone gasped. Like when you first saw it, Sam, you went, oh, as it tips backwards. That's what the movies used to do to people. In the dark with other people. It was a bonding moment. And he knows the value of that. And he single-handedly, although I hate Tom Cruise as a person, I really do. I hate Tom Cruise as a person. I love Tom Cruise.
What the man do to you?
He's on the left.
He's on
the right. Sorry. I ruined that
He's
joke.
on a whole other planet, for real.
Yeah, he hasn't seen his kids in years.
Yeah,
Nobody
it's a whole
talks
other
about it.
yeah.
I don't know why Tom
don't
Cruise
like
gets
that
a
man.
pass. I
Thank
love
you.
Tom Cruise as an actor.
But not as
he is not seen, even though he's supposed to see his kids 10 days a month. I went down the rabbit hole because after I saw Top Gun, I was like, Tom Cruise, I love you. Then I was like, I wonder if there's anything besides Scientology that we don't talk about. And it showed that per his court agreement, 10 days a month, he's supposed to be with his kids. He hasn't
never
seen them for
speaks
7
of them.
years.
Yeah, he doesn't speak of them. So I
I can't imagine as a parent, Jeff.
But maybe, listen, maybe that's what he has to do to be Tom Cruise. He's got to give 100% of his time to his craft.
Yeah.
And we all come from different places that have different responsibilities and different ideologies about things. And that's what makes us different, right? I don't agree with him not seeing his kids. Erica's super pissed at me. I said that word again, and I probably can't say that.
But what a movie star. Not on social media, always delivers. Erica, what are you thinking?
I was just wondering if he had done something to Tori because she
No,
said she hated the man.
Yeah,
I was like, hate is a very strong word.
Not
gets a
only-
pass.
Not only the children, there's certain behaviors that I've read in Vanity Fair and other credible sources.
Seems like a good point.
Oh, time to go. Show not a great thing, but great movie star. Great movie star.
You could differentiate the two.
I can differentiate the two.